Hey, good people. I am driving. Have an appointment to get my hair braided, so I look a hot mess. But as y'all know, I'm not ashamed. I don't mind getting on when I look like this, because every day we don't look like models every day. And I'm not one of them Facebook people that try to act like my life is different than what it really is. You know, if you really know me, I keep it 100 all the time. So anyway, I wanted to get on here quick. I didn't want to skip today. It's a busy day, but I wanted to do my midweek motivation. And today I just want to talk about knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. I just had like a great conversation actually with my sister, and so it just hit me that a lot of times, I think it's a female thing. I think just as women, we're so busy giving and giving and giving and forgetting about ourselves that sometimes we allow people to devalue us, and we accept it. And particularly in relationships. I know I definitely did it most recently with my last boss. You know, I fought and I spoke up, but at the end of the day, I sat up under him for 3.5 years, treating me bad in a way that I didn't appreciate, for the sake of having my job, for the sake of having the position, for the sake of having the salary, and just feeling, I think at some point, helpless. Like I did all that I could do. You know, I complained, I went to HR, I did whatever I did, but it didn't change the situation. So I think a lot of times we allow people, and particularly men, to treat us bad. And I think, you know, I was saying at this stage of my life, I see it a lot faster, and I move on a lot. I move on a lot quicker. I knew that thing was going to fall. It's a cheap little phone case. At some point, I got to spend some money on it. But anyway, you know, we have to teach people how to treat us. You know, we have to let people know what our boundaries are. And even in work, you know, sometimes we have to let people know, you know, even if we're not in a meeting per se, we may have to allocate, you know, like 2 hours or 4 hours to a particular project or work, and just let people know, either put your phone in another room or let people know that during this time, I'm just not available. You know, we have to set boundaries. And we cannot allow people to treat us less than. We cannot allow ourselves to stay in situations that don't serve us well. It's not enough to say that we don't want to be lonely. It's not enough to say, you know, I've put in this time already with them. I've invested so much time already that I don't want to walk away. I don't care if you've been there for 20 years. You know, and it's easier said than done, but at some point you have to value yourself enough to not allow people to treat you bad. It's unacceptable. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason that we should sit and allow people to treat us bad. And I was saying, you know, you don't have to explain it, because they already know they're treating you bad. They already know that they're not investing in you. They already know that they're not giving you their best. They know this. It's not, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to tell them, because they already know. All you have to do is declare that you're not allowing it anymore. You're not going for it. I know in my 20s, I didn't go for that. When I was 21, 22, there's no way. I was so vain. I thought so highly of myself that I was like, it is an honor and a privilege for me to be with you in the first place. Just to give you my time is an honor. It's a gift. Nobody owes you their time. And so you treat somebody bad and they roll out, then you know that's why. You ain't gotta say a doggone word, because they already know they treating you bad. I don't know if this glare, the sun or whatever, but you know, so we got to value ourselves. We got to do better, y'all, as women. Even our children, even, you know, our siblings, even our parents. You know, sometimes we have parents and grandparents, they say them little slick things sometimes. And I'm not saying be disrespectful, because God knows my grandmother will snatch me from the grave if I'm ever disrespectful to my elders. So in a respectful way, let people know when you don't appreciate something that they've said, when you don't appreciate something that they've done, when they have offended you. Let them know. And if people continue that behavior, then you know we gotta roll. Nice knowing you. You know, because we don't have to tolerate it. We are awesome and amazing. God made us awesome. He did not make us to be a doormat. He did not make us. He wants us to walk around. You think he wants his children looking bad, walking around with your head down, walking around feeling less than? We are children of the Most High. We are children of the King. If we all looking bad, how does that make him look? You know, when we send our kids out, you know how you see kids on Easter? They looking sharp. Oh my God. Remember they used to have powder blue suits on and lime green and all of these colors and the bows. And we went all out on Easter. And the kids had to look fabulous because they was a reflection of their mother. So she looked great and them kids were sharp. Well, God don't want us walking around looking bad, because then we gonna make him look bad. Ain't nobody gonna want to come into the kingdom when all the Christians looking terrible. They all got their heads down, low, depressed. Who wants Christianity if that's the outcome of it? No, we gotta walk with our heads up knowing we are valuable. We are awesome. God gave us so many talents and gifts. You know, we don't have to be boxed into one thing. Yeah, I got an accounting degree. I could rock circles around most people when it comes to math, algebra, trigonometry, all of it. But that's not all I do. I dance, I sing. I also have a master's in nonprofit management. I've helped people start nonprofits. I've fundraised for people, with people. I'm an event planner. I plan events. I help business owners with their marketing strategies. I help women over 40 get fit and stay fit. I've taken weight off of people. I've helped people lose weight and keep it off. I have many skills and talents. God made me awesome and amazing, and I'm not going to let nobody box me in to thinking that I'm only one thing, that I can only do one thing, because I can do many, many things. I can teach. I can write. I've written stories and poems and poetries. I've been published. All of it. God made us great. And I'm not going to let nobody come up in here at this point and make me feel less than. If you don't value me, that's okay, but keep it moving. Keep your non-value me. If you don't see my worth, then maybe I didn't show it well or whatever the reason is, but I don't have to sit in it. I don't, because anything that we sit in becomes our normal. And I've done it already. I sat in a marriage for 16 years being devalued. I've done it. I've been there. So I know it's easier said than done. But when I finally crawled out of that, I'm not going back. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow it. You know, some guys want to, what are you bringing to the table? Oh, then you must have not got the memo. I am the table. You didn't get it. You'll get it later. But it's going to be too late, but you'll get it later. I don't have to prove myself. All I got to do is be who I am. Because when God sends the right person your way, they're going to see it. It's going to blind them. They're not even going to have room enough to behold your awesomeness, your talents, your gifts, your skills, your beauty, and not your external beauty, your internal beauty. All the things that you do for people, all the gifts that you have. And as you just start to let them out and not sit on them, and project after project, and each thing that you birth, it's clear. It's crystal clear. There are some people, we look at them, you know, we'll look at a public figure, we'll look at you know, celebrities, and we'll admire all of the things that they've accomplished. Go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror and just go back 3 years. And list the things, just say out loud to yourself the things that you've accomplished, because you are awesome and amazing, and there is nothing that we can't do. There's nothing that we can't figure out. And I know I have called companies. I called one yesterday. I called a company because I was trying to get a quote on some shirts for a client. And so I was trying to do some terms. I was trying to do trying to fill the order a different way. And I couldn't find, I supposedly had an account manager. I never spoke to the person. And so I said, let me just get in here. And I went into the resources center and I found what I was looking for. And I said, here it is. Here's the application. And I printed it. And she was like, oh, I'm glad you figured it out. I said, I didn't have a choice but to figure it out. I said, because obviously nobody over there knows anything. I'm on the phone with the people and they can't help me. I had to figure it out myself because I'm resourceful. Because I'm not going to be defeated. Because when we set our minds to do something, ain't no devil in hell can stop us. Because when we get our mind set on something, we're going to get it done. Because that's the type of person that we are. Because that's who we are. God made us that way. Women, we are the nurturers. We're the caretakers. Everybody needs us. We will forfeit sleep to make sure the kids have. They think it's magic. They don't even know how this stuff happens. They don't know how the homework got into the book bag and they left it on the kitchen table. They don't know how, you know, sometimes I've had to get up and run to the school and drop off the gym clothes. I've had to run to the school to take the school project that was left behind. You know, I've had to do so many things, and they don't realize all the work that it takes. You know, when they having a birthday party at the school and we running over to Party City and we getting all of these decorations and we getting the cupcakes and we're doing all this stuff to celebrate the birthday parties, and we're bringing people in, you know, from out of town to go celebrate, and we're doing all these things on the back end. You know, it's not magic, it's work. It's work after work after work after work after work. And then we'll get criticized because we didn't do the laundry that day, or we missed something, we misstepped on something. Well, you know what? No, if somebody else was carrying that load, they wouldn't even understand how we got done what we got done. Okay, so we're not gonna focus on the down things, because everybody has their faults. We're not perfect, but I can tell you, we are daughters of the King. We are awesome and amazing. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. God made us in his image. And I don't care if we're light, if we're dark, if we're short, if we're tall. I don't care if our hair is thin, thick. I don't care what we think our deficits are. He made us the way he wanted us to look. And I don't care what kind of surgeries you get. I don't care how you change, lightening your skin, darkening your skin, getting tans, perming your hair, thickening your hair, whatever you think you need to do to be beautiful. Well, guess what? You already are beautiful. So you wasting your time on that end. You could be spending your time doing something else, because you're already beautiful. You just got to understand that you're beautiful, and stop letting people treat you less than. Stop letting people make you feel that you're not as good as you are, that you're not as beautiful as you are, that you're not as talented as you are. Because you are, and there's nothing that you can't do. I've even written songs. I've sang in the studios. I've background for people. It's so many things that we can do. I've done voiceover. I've gotten paid to do it. I've traveled to sing. There's so many things that we can do. Stop letting people box you in and think you can't do stuff. You could do any daggone thing you want to do. I don't care if you don't have the credentials. I don't care if you don't have, I've gotten into places I wasn't supposed to get into. I didn't have the license. I didn't apply for it. I didn't have tickets. I just went in and I got in the door. Sometimes you got to knock. Sometimes you got to go in the back door, go in the freight door, climb through the window. But get in there. We got to stop this. We got to move on to some things because we're great. Stop boxing yourself in. If there's somebody holding you down, making you feel less than, then leave them. The very first shirt I ever made in my business was a crop top. And it says, not everybody can go with you to the next level. Because I knew that day when I started that business that I was going to leave a whole lot of people behind. That I was moving on. I was going into uncharted territories. That I was going to a place that I had never been. I was going out of my comfort zone. And see, when you move out of your comfort zone, you move everybody else. Everybody else got to shift. Your whole family got to shift. And sometimes people are comfortable with you being where you are. They don't want you to change because now they got to change. You're making them uncomfortable because now they have to accept a new reality for you. They got to accept something different that you're doing. And they're comfortable with where you were because maybe you had more time for them. Maybe whatever it is, they don't want you to change because they have to change and they have to get ready for your change. And it does affect everybody in your household because you may have to have different hours. You may have to go to sleep later or earlier. You may have to get up later or earlier. And it does make a shift in everybody in the household. But sometimes, that's what it takes. That's some of the things that with growth, it's never easy. I remember Bishop saying, opportunity is never convenient. It's always inconvenient. But how bad do you want it? If you want something new, you got to do something you've never done before. You got to step out of your comfort zone. You got to do some different things. You got to meet new people. You got to leave some people behind. How many times have you called people? I used to call my girlfriend and she was always watching television. Every time I called her, Tisha, so-and-so show is on. Tisha, I'm watching so-and-so. Oh, this is so good. I got to call you later. And so I stopped calling because she was addicted to the television. Or if you call them and they're like, well, the kids are doing this. They travel to the soccer team and I got to go. So the whole season, which might be September to June, they out of pocket. They out of pocket because that's their priority. And they've made it plain to you. So guess what? You can have a priority too. And your priority can be your growth. It could be your personal development. It could be your new business. It could be whatever it is that it needs to be. And you can claim it just like everybody else claims it. And when they call you, you can say, guess what? I'm working on me. I got this personal development project. I'm working on something for me. I'll call you when the season is over. And it's okay. Because when God gives you an assignment, he means for us to finish it. He don't want us talking about, oh, well, so-and-so called and I didn't get around to it. I had to watch TV. I had to do this. I had to do that. I gotta cater to a guy that don't value me. I'm catering to this man that don't do nothing for me. But one day, I just think he gonna come around and start treating me good. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And again, I know it's easier said than done, but you have more value than that. Take the top off. There are no limits to what you can do. When you keep your faith, when God gives you an assignment, it's an insult. Now think about it. If you're a supervisor in a team and everybody got their assignment and y'all meeting again on Friday morning and y'all got to come together with what you all accomplished, right? And one person was like, I looked this up. I made these 5 phone calls. I got this much information. This person never got back to me, so I didn't get that. But they made some progress. And somebody else made progress and this one made progress. And the other person didn't get nothing done. Because they let all these distractions happen. Their mindset is not right. It's not there. And so now, y'all got to figure out, y'all got to regroup. because this person just, it's the mindset. We got to have a mindset of excellence. God doesn't give us any assignments that we cannot do. He gives us everything we need to accomplish it. We just have to know that. We have to have the mindset that we can do it. I know sometimes we do things afraid, and sometimes we got to walk afraid. But get to the other side of the fear. Face the fear. What's the worst thing that could happen? You do it bad the first time. You mess it up a little bit. You're sloppy with it. But you learn from it and you continue to grow. So that's kind of what we have to do. We have to continue to grow. We have to allow ourselves to step out on faith and do a doggone thing. And stop, playing with it. We're not kids. I push my grandbaby, and she's a child. Adults, I expect so much more. I expect us to try a thing. We're not good at everything, but try it. Step out on it. If God gave it to you, he gave it to you for a reason. Accept it. Do it. Stop letting people box you in and thinking you can't. Get can't out of your vocabulary. You can do it. Instead of coming up with 50 excuses why you can't do a thing, come up with the reason why you can. I have gotten off of my meal plan a little bit, and I gained a couple of pounds, and I was like, I got to go back the other way. And I can tell you, I can eat good all day. And then at night, I would eat like some cookies and mess it up. So I was like, you know what? You got to work on your night. Because I sit up at night and I work. And I was like, your mindset got to change about the nights. You got to work on your nights. And I could tell you, not last night, but the night before, I was up working until 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was able to say yesterday morning, and this is a first, I said I worked all night and I did not eat one snack. And my stomach was growling. I had to get some tea. It was just growling. I could hear it. And I was like, I'm starving. But I was like, but I'm not used to eating at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not gonna take the food in. I'm not gonna do it. Now it was kind of extreme for me, but I was happy that I was able to say that, and my scale reflected, and I was excited about a thing. I was happy about that. Somebody's calling me. And so anyway, we have to change our mindset about certain things. If there's a goal that we have, is there something that we know we should be doing? Just focus on the one thing. Don't allow all the distractions. Don't allow people. So this is how you know when somebody's in your corner. Let me tell you this. You got a goal. So let's say, okay, this used to happen to me. So let's say I would say I need to lose some weight, right? I need to lose some weight. So somebody wants to go out to eat with you. And you go, all right, but I got to go somewhere. I'm just going to get a salad, so maybe some chicken with it, and that's it. Now, there's some people that's going to take you somewhere, and they're like, this place got really good salads. And then they'll be like, okay, be careful. Don't get all of those things, because even in salad, they have a lot of unhealthy things in salad and a lot of calories with the dressings and all of that. So if you're really somebody who's counting carbs and calories, you have to even watch salads. So they'll take you somewhere. They'll encourage that. Then you got somebody else that, well, you know what, there's this Italian place I really want to try. And then they get all this pasta and sauce, and they get the bread, and they like, oh man, you got to taste this bread. Just taste this bread. And they're trying to, they're doing all these things to contribute to you going in a different direction. They're setting you back, and it's not that they're trying to derail you. It's not that they want you to fail, but they don't honor your goals, and they don't honor what you're trying to do. And so if you allow them to continuously do that, you're going to wind up gaining instead of losing. You're going to wind up in the wrong direction. So we have to at least know what direction we need to go in. We have to. And I know I used to fast every Monday. I used to fast every Monday. For years I did this. And I would just drink, I would eat like one meal after 6 o'clock. So for the whole day, I would be fasting and only drinking like water and tea and things. And I would be starving. I would have a headache all day. And so I remember going out to lunch with my boss and my department. And all I had was tea. And they passing food around. And, so that was when I was really serious and I was so disciplined. And so we have, periods of time and pockets of time where we are on our game. And then we have times where we're not focused and we're off our game. But I would say, obviously we're not perfect and things happen and we go on vacation. So we're going to eat. We're going to do whatever we do. We're going to get off our regimens and things of that nature. But I say all day, we have to value ourselves. We have to place ourselves a little higher. We cannot allow people to treat us like we're less than. You are worth so much more. God sees you greater than you see yourself. Think about your children. I think about my daughter. My daughter's 24. And I can tell you there's been so many things that I wanted for her that she didn't want for herself. I remember wanting to put her in a day school for high school. I remember taking her up to Princeton. I took her to probably 4 different day schools to visit. And she was accepted and because her grades were great and she was so smart. But she wanted to go to this tech school, nearby. And they didn't have the greatest report card. They really tracked their students for going into the workforce and not going to college. And so, learning a trade and things like that. And I was so, upset about it. I was like, I wanted more for her. I'm like, yeah, but you're going to college. Why would you want to go to that kind of school? And literally the day school was so phenomenal. They were $35,000 a year. And can I tell you that I had an opportunity to take my daughter to those schools and all I had to pay was $700. Okay. So God opened that kind of door. And she would go there and I took her on the tours and she would have her arms folded and rolling her eyes and had an attitude. And she would be like, can we leave? And she wasn't interested in the least in that opportunity. And I remember I was just walking around just crying for like months. I was so disheartened. And I remember my mother saying, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make her drink. She doesn't want it. And I remember my ex-husband was like, leave her alone. She don't want it. Let it go. Forget it. And I remember even the director of the program saying, I got 100 kids on a waiting list that want to be here. And he asked her, and she said she didn't want to be there. And I had to let it go. And I even took her to the other school to figure out what the heck is it about this daggone school. And the only thing I could figure out is because this is where her friends were going. She wanted to hang out with her friends. She didn't want to go into the unfamiliar. And this school was an opportunity. She could have traveled all over the world. She could have studied abroad in high school. And it was included. It would have been free. But she didn't want it. She wanted to follow her friends. I saw her greater than she saw herself. I wanted more for her than she wanted for herself. And it hurt my heart. It still hurts me. But God sees us the same way. We sit around praying for a raise. We sit around and we pray for a little $10,000 raise. We sit around praying to become the assistant director. We sit around praying for things that God never intended for us to have. He sees you so much greater than you even see yourself. I sat around praying for a $10,000 a month in my business. God is laughing at our prayers, our dreams, because when He lets it come down on us, it's so much greater. You praying to be the assistant director, and he's about to make you a CEO somewhere. I'm praying for a 10K month. He's about to knock my socks off with my business. He's working on deals that I don't even know about. I got a phone call out the blue yesterday for a corporate order. And I was sitting around like, I don't even know what I'm going to do the rest of August. I didn't know, but I just knew I had to keep going. I just had to keep going. We have to take the limits off of ourselves because he sees us greater. You are greater. And as soon as you start to see yourself that way and accept that and allow your faith in God to carry you forward, he's going to start just unfolding things. But detach yourself from the people who devalue you. It's hard. You may miss them. You may cry, and it's okay. Do all that. But you got to let it go. The second you let that go, God is waiting. He's waiting for you. But he needs you in a certain mindset. Everybody's not ready for every blessing. Like I had to buy my grandbaby a bike with the training wheels. She wasn't ready for a 10 speed. Everybody's not ready for every blessing yet. We have to mature into the blessing. And I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to leave you right there. Start maturing into your next blessing. Y'all have a fabulous day. God bless you.